Hey guys, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, has lambasted President Bola Tinubu and Nigerian political leaders over the daily rising insecurity in the country. Reacting to a report by an international news magazine, The Economist of London captured "Kidnappers are wreaking havoc in Nigeria," which was published on January 18. Obi said that Nigerian politicians only care about the national security based on how close it gets to their mansions in Abuja. Obi, a former governor of Anambra State, faulted how the former Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Patami, backed a crowdfunding effort initiated last week to secure the release of 6 girls kidnapped along with their father in Abuja. He pointed out that despite President Tinubu declaring security as his top priority on May 29, 2023, during his inauguration, more than 3,600 people were kidnapped, while almost 9,000 Nigerians were killed in conflict in 2023. Replicating the Economist report, Obi, in a series of posts on his X, formerly Twitter, said that for those who have continued to say my issue-based constructive criticism of a bad system as bad and are mingling my person and the obedience for seeking good governance and a better future for all Nigerians, let them now read this report from the respected international news magazine, The Economist of London, and do the same. The Economist report, replicated by Obi, stated that how many politicians in Nigeria care about national insecurity has long been correlated with how close it gets to their mansions in Abuja, the capital. On its outskirts on January 2nd, a father and his 6 daughters were kidnapped, prompting a real outcry in high. According to him, a crowdfunding effort to pay the ransom was even backed by a former minister, but the kidnappers instead killed one of the girls and demanded more cash. The wife of President Bola Tinubu publicly lamented a devastating loss, yet such horrors are still appalling, frequent, and largely ignored by politicians. Obi lamented that in one incident last weekend in the southeast, 45 people were kidnapped and are still missing, yet few leaders spoke out. The deadliest zone in the northeast, where jihadists linked to Islamic State attack the army and village. The northwest too is red-lined with gangs that routinely kidnap for ransom. Decades-long conflict between mostly Muslim herders and largely Christian farmers rumbles on the country, where on Christmas Eve, gunmen mowed down at least 160 people. Separatist violence still smolder in the southeast. All his inauguration last May, Mr. Tinubu declared security his top priority, yet more than 3,600 people were kidnapped in 2023, the most even according to stated a global monitor of conflict. The snatching rose sharply after Mr. Tinubu took office, and almost 9,000 Nigerians were killed in conflict last year. The government stressed that in its most recent budget, spending on defense and the police took the biggest share, about 12% in all. Defense got a 50 more than it did last year, yet inflation is running at 29%. So in real terms, the defense budget has fallen. The government tends to splurge on finance, weapon system that fail to tackle the root of the problem, which are poverty, poor education, and anger at army atrocities. The latest budget includes funds for 61 to 129 Turkish attack helicopter on top of the 12 costly Bell choppers brought last year from America for $1 billion, not to mention 12 Super Tucano attack aircraft. He said that buying strike drones has become so popular that the army runs in a fleet alongside of their forces, but the drones are very good at guiding schools from kidnappings and heavy weaponry risk disaster. A drone recently killed at least 85 civilians at a festival in Kaduna State, not the first such cook-up. The army promised to fine-tune its operations, but more radical change is needed. The police were equipped, but able to use better human intelligence, should lead on domestic security, not the army, which has been deployed in all 36 of Nigerian states. Obi further pointed out that another huge problem is graft in security spending. Defense is a prime part of the budget where you can take large quantities of money out without people being any the wiser, says Matthew Page, of Chatham House, a think tank in London. Much of the budget is still about rewarding those who paid to get Mr. Tinubu elected. Sometimes the army fails to receive its budget allocation. This is worsened by a system known as security vote, whereby parts of defense spending are deemed too sensitive to require public oversight. The practice, which accounts for perhaps $700 million a year, increased sharply under the last president and may well jump more under Mr. Tinubu. The defense budget has nearly tripled since 2019, but thanks to inflation, wasteful purchases, sales and corruption, Nigerians do not suffer. General Christopher Musa, Chief Defense Staff, appears to understand the roots of the insecurity. Obi further wrote, military effort alone is incapable of restoring enduring peace, he says, adding that the army helped build hundreds of schools under his command in the northeast, yet many politicians seem near to spend on themselves rather than create the conditions for peace and fill the country's physical hole. Even if Mr. Tinubu resists the temptation to restate the petrol subsidy that he largely removed last year, debt servicing alone in 2014 may couple up 61% of revenue. In November, the National Assembly approved SUV for all 460 lawmakers at a reported cost of $150,000 plus per car dollars. In 2 months, the government has budgeted $31 million to improve accommodation for the president and the vice president in a country of around 220 million people, where more than 80 million are reckoned to live on less than $2.15 a day and may fear being kidnapped. So guys, what do you see, or what do you understand with what Obi has analyzed? I beg, Obi is doing well. He's trying. He's trying. He's doing well. At least letting the government to know that, see, what you are doing is not how to go about things, so that they will understand that Nigerians are not happy at all. I beg, make a drop am for here. How do I see this matter of Nigerian insecurity that refuse to, can I say, walk with that end? I beg, my people, make a drop am for here. How do I see this one? Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. If you're just joining us for the first time, subscribe, please. I beg, subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you for always stopping by.